Skil has released even more products in their 18 volt and 40 volt platforms. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. We have more brushless tools in the 20 volt lineup for Skil, and we have a new 40 volt accessory as well. Let's get started. The revitalized Skil brand is continuing to expand their platform in both the 20 volt as well as the 40 volt. Now, a lot of the 40 volt is in the lawn care sector, but they do have some of the 20 volt in there as well. We're going to cover several of the 20 volts right here, as well as one of the 40 volts. So pretty cool products that are at a very low cost as well. So value is high as long as they perform like they should. Now, we're not going to do all out reviews on each one of these, but we will show these in use and talk about the features of each. Now, the first one is kind of a transformer type of tool, if you will, and that's this little hedge trimmer or hedge shear. Actually, they call this the 20 volt shear and shrub kit. So this is made for trimming grass, trimming shrubs, trimming flowers, whatever you need to. So you get this little 5-inch, what they call a shrub shear. And again, this runs on the 20 volt battery, and this kit comes with a 20 volt battery as well. So we'll go ahead and throw one on there. And then to activate those shears, you just have to push the safety button right here, because right now I cannot pull the trigger. And once I do that, now we see the shearing action there. So this is not the same thing as a hedge trimmer. It's not meant to be like the 40 volt hedge trimmer. It's just meant to cut small twigs, grass, flowers, things like that. So you do get a decent capacity there, but don't think you're going to cut through 1-inch oak saplings. But still a really cool tool with the 5-inch shrub shear. Now, in the same kit, so in this kit, you get the 2 amp hour 20 volt battery, you get a charger as well, and you get the 8-inch hedge blade. Now, to put this on, very simple, no tools are needed. So you just press these two. By the way, we took the battery out. So you press these two here, and it just kind of swivels down. And you see kind of a cam action in there. We'll put that aside. And by the way, this comes with a little blade guard that you can slide back on. And you'll want to oil that up every now and then to keep that nice and freed up and lubricated. Pretty tight tolerance there to get that back on, but you can do it. And then same thing with the 8-inch. Just push this tab up under here and then close it shut. And now we can put on our battery. And same thing here, push the safety. As long as we hold the trigger down, we don't have to keep our finger on that safety. Here's the 8-inch hedging blade. Very easy to control, nice and balanced. And then with our smaller 5-inch blade on, now this kit with the 8-inch head shear and the 5-inch shrub shear, and it comes with a guard for this blade as well. And not only that, as I mentioned, you get the 2 amp hour battery, a charger, and you get the easy storage hook. So this comes with a storage hook, so you can mount that on the wall. And then right here, that little gap right there, you'll mount this sideways, and this just hangs just like that. So it comes ready for you to organize this right out of the gate. I like that they're actually thinking of that out of the gate, and you don't have to put any thought into how you're going to store this. Now, obviously, you could store it in a drawer, toolbox, or whatever else, but cool that they thought of that and they include it in the kit. And this kit is $100, like $99.99, and you can buy this on Amazon as well. So let's get this battery out, and then we'll move this to the side. And then we'll bring in the PowerCore 20 volt brushless 6-inch mini pruning saw. Now, this is just a small chainsaw. Got a little safety guard here on the top, as well as it's going to come with a blade cover as well, and a self tensioning, not a self-tensioning, but basically a toolless tensioning system. So I don't need any tools to tighten up that blade as it stretches and as it wears. Just reach here, flip that open, loosen it, and then tighten it back down. And that will self-tension that blade, or that will tension the blade as you tighten that back down. Now what this is going to help eliminate are any of those kickbacks and enabling you to do one-handed operation, and so your hand doesn't get there on the top of the blade. Your hand shouldn't be anywhere near there, but just in case. So as you're cutting through, this is going to raise up as you're cutting through that wood. Now if we take a look here on the back side, we see we have a little oil tank right here. Just flip this lever. Good quarter turn, that comes out, and then you can put your oil in, put it back in, tighten it down, close the little lock, and you're good to go. So this has a self-oiling system in it. This is going to automatically oil that bar and chain as you use this, as long as you have oil right here in the tank. Now again, this kit comes with a 20-volt battery and a charger. Use the same 2-amp-hour battery we just used. Now it comes with a belt hook. You can take that off if you want to, but it also comes with the storage hook like in the other, as well as this right here, because this won't automatically integrate with the tool, but you can take this one and hang it on this tool either this way or sideways, and this hook is going to fit through here and hang that tool appropriately. So again, thinking even of the storage solution, kudos to Skil. Now you're not going to be felling trees with this, but it does have plenty enough power to cut through those 2, 3, 4-inch limbs and take care of your storm cleanup or cut down shrubs, whatever you're looking to do. And the regular pruning saw is going to act a lot like the telescoping. Cutting those 2-inch limbs, not a problem. This kit with the 2-amp-hour battery and the charger and everything that's here, as well as even the blade guard, is going to run you right at $130. So like $129 again on Amazon, and it comes with that battery and that charger. And by the way, that guard slides on with the little safety lip at the top as well. So let's move the little 6-inch pruning saw out of the way and replace it with a 6-inch pruning saw. Actually, it's a little more than a 6-inch pruning saw, and this again comes as a kit. You get the bar and the chain, and you get a 2-amp-hour battery and a charger. This little oil dripper right here, it doesn't come with the oil, I put that in there, as well as the storage solution that comes all in the kit. But this gives you that 6-inch pruning saw and a bit more. So you can see it's a little bit longer out of the gate anyway, but then we have a little button right here. If we push that button, slide this out. There's one section. Push it again, slide it out. So check that out. A little telescoping one-handed pruning saw. That is pretty cool, I must say. So push that, slide it back in, lock it into place, and now you've got your little one-handed 6-inch pruning saw. Or again, push the button, slide it out, and use that for a little higher branches, or even reaching out across those shrubs and cutting those so you don't have to wade yourself through all the branches. Now, a little bit different than just the 6-inch pruning saw, not only do we get the telescoping, but it does not have an oil tank. So if we flip this over, you'll see that there's no oil tank there like on the other one. So this is not going to be self-oiling. Typically on a telescoping saw, you're probably not going to use it as much as just your pruning saw. So you will need to take a little bit of oil, raise this up, make sure you don't have your battery in, and just, here's how I would oil it, is like this, and just kind of drizzle it right there along where the chain makes contact with the bar. And then just pull the trigger and let all that oil settle in and get in that bar and that chain. You also, that little hole right there, you can oil that as well, because that's a little bearing or bushing on that tip that runs that little sprocket up there. And we'll put our battery in, and we'll probably sling a little bit of oil right here. So you can see that's going to oil our bar and chain. And then on the telescoping saw, pull our guard off. We just have to slide the safety over. Make sure your chain is oiled. And then when you need that longer reach, now the telescoping chainsaw is going to be a little bit more than the regular pruning saw. This is going to run $300. Again, comes with the telescoping chainsaw, the 2 amp hour battery, the storage solution, as well as charger, and the blade guard as well. Oh, and the little eyedropper oiler bottle also. And finally, let's talk about the 40 volt line. Now this does not come with a battery. You just get the 300 watt power inverter, but this is a cool little tool. I guess you could call it a tool. Piece of equipment? I don't know. Power supply? Sounds good. Anyway, so just a really simple power inverter that has a couple of cool features. So I'm going to slide the 40 volt battery on, and any of their batteries are going to work. Nice bright fuel gauge there on the front of the battery. Tells you how much charge. This is their 2.5 amp hour 40 volt battery. Yeah, 2.5 amp hours. So you're looking at 2.5 amps times 40 volts should give us 100 watt hours. Yeah, right there. So 2.5 amp hour, 40 volts, 100 watt hours using Ohm's law there. So basically, this is a 300 watt inverter and that's continuous, and a 500 watt peak converter. What does that mean? Or inverter, not converter, inverter. And by the way, all that an inverter is doing, well, it's actually doing a lot, but it's converting or inverting DC voltage to AC voltage so that we can then run alternating current through this little plug right here. So we get 120 volt output here at 2.5 amps, and that's going to give us that 300 watts of power output, and that is pure sine wave as well. So it's going to be fine for plugging in those sensitive electronics like laptops, even some smart TVs, your personal devices, things like that. And then we're also going to get DC output as well. So we get 2 USB Type-C, and one of the ports is PD at 65 watts out. And then we get an 18 watt out USB-C, and then a typical USB-A at 5 volts at 2.1 amps. I don't know why they don't give us the watts on that. They're giving us watts here. So multiply 5 volts times 2.1, that's what, 10 and 0.5. So that's 10.5 watts of output right there on the USB Type A output. Now, here's one of the cool things on it. So you lay it down like this, then you can take your phone, and you got 2 little tabs right here, and it'll stand up right there, and you can watch a movie or charge it or whatever you need to do, but it gives it a place to stand up. Not only that, if you stand this up on the back side, little elastic band right there, check this out. Little pocket right here, stores your phone very nicely. So again, if you wanted to, you could put it upside down and actually charge it while it's sitting there, and it's both protected as well as just kind of holding it in place while you're charging it. Even if you carry it away, you're carrying it with you. I'm sure you can see also the LED light right there around the handle. So push the button. I don't have to push the power button, just the light button, and that turns it on low, and push it again, and we have a high setting. So a low and high setting, it's not going to put out a ton of light, but whether you're in a tent or on a job site or whatever that is, you could definitely have some light there where you can see what's going on, and that's included right there in the power inverter. If we want to energize these ports here, we do have to push the power button, get a little green light there on the button. That tells us that now we're ready to plug something in. Now, why do you need a 500 watt peak and not just a 300 watt continuous? Well, let's say you've got an old box fan you wanted to plug in here, and it runs at, say, 75 watts, but when you first start it up, maybe it pulls like 400 watts to get that old electric motor started, that old brushed motor. This would do that. It would allow it to start up and then settle down at a 75 or 100 watts continuous, and this would handle it absolutely fine. Again, this inverter does not come with the battery, and the 300 watt inverter is going to run you $100 or $99.99, and by the way, you can get this on Amazon as well. And all of these tools, all of the Skil tools we talked about today, have a 5-year warranty with them as well. As I mentioned, you get a 5-year warranty with each of these Skil tools. Now, if you're used to the Skil of old, well, not the Skil of really old, because the Skil of really old, the one that brought you the Skil saw back in the day, was a great brand. Then it got sold off and things kind of went downhill and it turned into just a meh brand. Well, the Skil of today has been revitalized. You see a little different color platform, and if you haven't tried their 20-volt line of brushless tools and their 40-volt line of outdoor power equipment and accessories, you really need to give it a shot, because I think you'll be surprised. They make a lot of tools for that DIY sector that may even creep into that entry-level pro as well, and you even get things like rear handle saws running dual 20-volt batteries that will rip through just about anything. Now, with the 5-year warranty and the low cost on these, well, of course, the telescoping pruning saw was $300. That's not a cheap tool, but each one of these, you're getting a battery and charger with it, other than the inverter. But you're getting a battery and charger with each one of the saws and the shears, and you're getting that charger, and you're getting the guards, and you're getting the storage system that comes along with it as well. The inverter at $99 is a good value as well. And again, with the warranty and the fact that you can buy these on Amazon, you can buy them at Lowe's. So if you want to walk in a store, you can do that. If you want to shop online and get it the next day or 2 days, you can do that as well. So check it out for yourselves. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.